The Tale of the Christmas Beasts, Part 1.
Jesus, our Savior, kind and good, was humbly born in a stable of wood, and the friendly beasts around him stood. Jesus, our Savior, kind and good.
The first beast in our story was a shaggy donkey. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest in the pasture. Sometimes the others would tease him because he was smaller. They would taunt him and tell him he couldn't even carry a basket of fish, let alone the people and parcels they all did. One day, the little donkey was out in the pasture when a couple approached him. The woman had a big belly that he knew meant she was going to have a baby of her own soon. The donkey thought the man looked worried. What was going on? "I don't know, Mary," he heard the man say. "All we can afford is this small one, and even with the donkey, do you think you can do this? It will take us at least 4 days to get to Bethlehem. We can only go 8 hours a day. You'll need your rest each night." A 4-day journey? The man was right. The donkey was probably too small to carry the woman and her child. He had only been on several short trips carrying small packs through the hills. He wasn't a very big donkey, not nearly as strong as some of the others. Could he really do this? The woman laughed at the man. "Nonsense, Joseph," she said. "Who are we to say we can't do something and give up? My poor cousin Zechariah refused to believe that God could give him a son due to his and Elizabeth's age, and look what happened." What was she talking about, the donkey wondered. An older couple having a baby? And what was this about something happening to the man? The donkey wondered what happened to the man she called Zechariah. "Your cousin can't speak. God silenced him," the man said. That didn't sound good to the donkey. The woman started laughing. "That is true. He cannot speak," she said. "But Joseph, it isn't stopping God from doing what God promised to do. Zechariah was so weary he couldn't hope for God's goodness." He couldn't hope for God's goodness? The donkey knew what that felt like. He didn't think he was any good because he was such a small donkey. The woman continued talking to the man. "Joseph, if God is so good to my cousins, what more will the Lord do for us since I'm carrying God's own son?" What? The donkey didn't believe his very large ears. She had God's son? He was going to help carry God's son to Bethlehem? This was amazing. But could he do it? He was going to try. If this woman could carry God's baby, he could carry her, no matter how long the journey was. The donkey couldn't wait to see what happened next. They loaded the little donkey and off they all went. The journey was very long and very tiring, but the donkey kept thinking about the miracle he was carrying. Why was God having a son anyway? And why would God want to come to this world as a baby? This was all so much to think about. They were in Bethlehem before the donkey knew it. But what was this? He expected the people to rest in the inn, but they were making a home in the stable with him? What was God doing, and what would happen next?
I said the donkey, shaggy and brown, carried his mother uphill and down, carried her safely to Bethlehem town. I said the donkey, shaggy and brown.